Have you ever watched a movie from your childhood and thought it doesn't quite hold up like you remember? Well, then you would enjoy our bi-weekly series, Does It Hold Up?, where we revisit classic genre films with a special guest to help us determine if it is as good or as bad as we remember. It's a whole lot of fun, so you should check it out. But only if you like fun. If you enjoy sorrow and despair, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Please check out the Drunk Banthas channel. They clearly are ready for being seen at a higher level.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. So as you guys may know, I'm a big fan of messed up Christmas movies. There's something hauntingly beautiful about the visual and tonal contrast of festive Christmas cheer and macabre gothic horror. And when I heard that this movie took place during Christmas, I was just so excited. Mostly about the potential of adding a movie to my ever-expanding adult Christmas movie list.
Indulge me in this friendly Christmas game.
And I do like this director a lot. I liked The Witch, The Northman. I kind of love that movie. I haven't got a chance to see The Lighthouse. That's a weird blind spot for me for this director. But for this one, I do feel like I will be adding it to movies like The Green Knight, Batman Returns, Terrifier 3, Black Christmas, and other disturbing flicks that I make my family watch with me. But enough preamble, let's get into the nitty gritty and talk about what we're talking about. So get comfortable, cause shit's about to get really uncomfortable as we discuss. But first, a prelude. In the year of our Lord 1922, the world was introduced to a little German expressionist film by the name of It was produced by Prana Film, a brand new film studio that went bankrupt almost immediately after the release of Nosferatu, which ended up being their only movie. This happened mostly because this film was an unauthorized and unofficial adaptation of the Dracula novel. It's kind of like one of those films that you see and you have to do a double take because it looks like a film you actually recognize, but it's not. Like you'll be scrolling through Netflix or whatever and you'll be like, wait, does that say Transmorphers? Even though they changed a bunch of shit, they still got sued into oblivion and all the copies of the film were to be destroyed. But it must have been an Order 66 situation because several of the copies managed to survive, and today the film is held in high regard. And the character of Nosferatu is considered one of the more iconic and recognizable figures in the horror genre. Fast forward 100 years later, there have been a million depictions of this initial character. Like this one.
Then who was flickering the lights? Nosferatu!
2024's Nosferatu is directed by Robert Eggers and stars Bill Skarsgård in the titular role, and I have to say, this dude is unrecognizable. I know it's like cliche to say that about someone who does a performance in heavy prosthetics, but I seriously didn't know that was him. Like, I remember reading that he was cast as Count Orlok, and I totally forgot by the time he showed up on screen. Now, it may have been his performance, or the makeup, or bit of both, but I choose to believe it is because of the fantastic work the makeup team did and the dedication Skarsgård had to transforming into this character. Dude trained with an opera singer so he could learn how to lower the tone of his voice, and it fucking worked. His voice is so creepy. The accent, the tone of his voice, it's also intoxicatingly menacing.
The midnight hour has
Nick Holt was also good. I never really disliked him, but I've never seen a performance of his that I've just been like over the moon about. But he was impressive in this one. There are a few moments in this flick where there's no dialogue and he really has to convey that total fear in the presence of evil. And he really nails it. Bravo, sir. Willem Dafoe, I mean, what can I say at this point? The man is always fantastic. This guy makes me laugh so much. I like to think that this character is the father of Willem Dafoe's character in Poor Things. He's kind of using the same accent, and I can see this character going even more bat nuts, having a kid and being just the worst in the name of science. Who's up for this weird connected universe? Just leave it in the comments. Let me know if you're up for this. But I must say that the MVP must go to Lily Rose Depp as Ellen. So I reviewed that show, The Idol, when it came out, and it was exceptionally bad. Like, it was so disgustingly awful. I don't want to get into you can watch that video and you'll see what problems I had with it. But I did mention that the show is littered with problems and Depp is not one of them. There were a few moments in the show where I was like, holy shit, she's actually really good. But she was remarkable in Nosferatu. First of all, she's nailing this British accent. Because at first, when I heard her speaking in the British accent, I was like,
Oh, baby.
Maybe a little nervous because it just really irritates me when actors can't pull off an accent outside of their own. It's very distracting. Rebecca Ferguson is one of my faves, but her American accent in Silo is ass. And I didn't expect this to be a skill that Depp possessed. Not sure why all these German characters are speaking English with British accents, but that's besides the point. Ellen is the emotional core of the film, and everything kind of hinges on her performance. Anya Taylor-Joy was originally cast in the role, and I'm sure she would have been just great if she was given the swing at the bat or at the plate or whatever. Insert sports analogy here. But I'm glad Lily Rose Depp was given the opportunity to really show what she can do, because The Idol was so bad, it could have ended this poor woman's career. But luckily, Eggers could see the forest through the sleaze that was the weekend's sex nightmare of a series, and got a magnificent performance out of this actress that is hopefully just getting started. This film, set in the 1830s, follows estate agent Thomas Hutter as he travels to Transylvania for a fateful meeting with Count Orlok, a prospective but mysterious client. This movie is definitely a slow burn if there ever was one. It's not afraid of taking its time with scenes to really let the audience sit in the spookiness of the moment. Like, every scene seems to linger a little too long, which cultivates this air of unpredictability and unease. Even the way that Count Orlok moves, like he moves so slow and labored, but then we see him disappear and reappear on the other side of the room. And the camera movement captures these moments so well that it's very disorienting for the audience as much as it is for Nick Holt's character. That might not be everyone's jam though, but color me with creepy crayons because I love that shit. Don't get me wrong, this movie gets really thrilling and violent in moments, but for the most part, it's just vibes. For a lot of this, it's just vibes. And the vibes for this movie was, for the most part, simply...
I was scared.
The ending was a little lackluster, but it was still pretty satisfying and effectively tragic. Like, I knew what they were trying to convey. I understood what was happening or what happened. I just wish that there was just a little bit more visual storytelling to understand the motivations of certain characters. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the ending, or if you've seen the ending, you know what I'm talking about. On the whole, Nosferatu was a damn good time and one of my favorite horror films of 2024. As far as compared to his other films, I would say that this is it's better than The Witch. I like it more than that, but I weirdly like The Northman a little bit more. I think that one just has a little bit more mustard on the hot dog. I honestly can't think of anything that I would have changed about this film. I just know that I wanted more, and I guess that's not the worst thing someone can say about your movie. Although, to be fair, when I watched it, I was pretty drunk. My ranking, I loved it. All right, that's it for this review. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Now, you might be thinking, but Grayson, I'm not subscribed. And to that I say, well, you wanna? If you do subscribe, you'll get updates on new videos, and if you become a member, you'll get video reviews early and have access to exclusive content. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that sound neat? Also, don't forget to check out our live stream shows, the Drunk Banthas podcast every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and the Bantha Bunch every Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And lastly, consider perusing through our merch store where we have hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, and a bunch of other cool stuff with our stupid name on it. So until next time, stay safe, my little bootleg Draculas, and may the force be with you.